Lawful Person or Legal Person, Human or Man. August 2, 2020 by Anna von Reitz. There continues to be confusion, so I am explaining it again. You can be operating as a lawful person who has rights and guarantees and protections and can own property, or as a legal person who has no rights or guarantees and can only manage property for someone else as a slave or indentured servant. Lawful persons record their property assets and interests and retain ownership of their assets. Legal persons register their interests and give them to their masters in trust, who then own and control the assets held in trust. The legal person gets a certificate as the donor of the assets, birth certificate, or a registration receipt, motor vehicle registration. The master of the trust retains both the equitable title and the legal title and distributes the interest as the master sees fit. The legal person donor stays on as an unpaid custodian of the property, your children, for example, and is accountable to the master for their job performance, enter Child Protective Services or the Highway Patrol or. So now you see why it matters if you record or register and whether you act as a lawful person or a legal person. I hope this explains my comment adequately for all concerned and shows everyone why it is essential to freedom and property ownership and control to establish and maintain your status as a lawful person. As a lawful person, you are the employer of all the legal persons. As a legal person, you are an employee, either a slave or indentured servant, of the lawful persons. In a similar way, there is a disparity between human and man. The very name human means hue-man, which means color of man, which means legal person. This color of man concept has nothing to do with race, but is used in the same sense as color of law, merely appearing to be law and merely appearing to be man. When you allow someone to call you a human, you are accepting the status of a legal person, a slave or indentured servant, and identifying yourself as such. Humans and legal persons have civil rights. Civil rights are not actually rights, but privileges that the master allows his slaves and indentured servants. Because they are privileges and not actual rights, they can be revoked by command, executive order, or the stroke of a pen suspending such rights. Men and lawful persons have natural and unalienable rights that are part of their nature, granted by nature and nature's God, as the founders put it. Nobody gave us the right to walk, talk, think, move from place to place, or exercise our will. These are called natural and unalienable rights because they were not granted by men and cannot be taken away by men. They cannot be suspended or curtailed by legal persons. This is one of the fundamental differences between the foreign oligarchies perpetuated by the City of Rome and the Vatican and the lawful and honorable government of this country. They allow slavery and peonage, both, but we don't. Therefore, if you want to be a slave, you can enslave yourself by accepting municipal citizenship of the United States. If you want to sell yourself into mercenary service or act as an indentured servant, accept territorial United States citizenship. But, if you want to be a free man or woman, endowed by your Creator with certain natural and unalienable rights, enabled to own property outright and to travel freely and to speak your mind and to be responsible for your own governance, then you accept the burden of being a state citizen and you paddle your own canoe. Go to www.theamericanstatesassembly.net. Links to Anna's articles and resources can be found in the video description box. Thank you for subscribing, liking and sharing.